Hi everyone, welcome to your final day of the December challenge. I can't believe we're here already. In one way it feels like we've been doing it for ages, but in another way it feels mad to think that we're on the last class. So I hope you enjoyed all the previous 5 classes. You might have found some particularly new exercises that you might like, or maybe you realised there's some moves that you don't like, and that's fine because I'm the same. There's some moves in Pilates that I generally stay away from in my own practice just because you do what feels nice for you. So hopefully you've found kind of some better feel for the practice and more of an overview of what can be included in Pilates. I mean, even though it was 6 classes, we really just touched the surface in terms of the style that you can do. We didn't use any equipment for this whole challenge, which is fantastic, and it just goes to show that you don't need equipment to get a nice workout in. But having said that, I have heavy weights and light weights here that I use for classes for the website. You can use bands, you can use the Pilates ball. There are so many variations. So I hope it might have just inspired you to maybe keep your practice up, or maybe go in the new year and try a few classes, mat or reformer, or maybe you got more of a enjoyment out of even the more strength focused ones. So, go and look for a studio maybe that offers more strength focused Pilates classes, like a lot of studios do, like types of power Pilates and stuff like that, that include heavy weights. Well, not heavy weights, but kind of 4 or 5 kg weights. Or, as always, there's any variety of classes on my website if you want to join there. First 7 days are free and you can cancel anytime. And it just gives you a nice feel for the different styles. There's bar, there's power Pilates, there's the traditional mat Pilates like we've been doing here. There's reformer, of course. I know that's quite limiting as you need to have the machine. But I just hope that having done this challenge that you are excited to keep up your practice, whatever that practice may look like, for 2025. And if I've done that much, then it's been a success, because that's the whole idea of primary Pilates. I'm just trying to get or reach as many people as I can to introduce them to Pilates or reintroduce them, and yeah, just trying to get as many people as possible to feel the benefits for it, okay? So, ramblings aside, we have a really nice class today. It's actually quite different to my usual style. We're going to be working a lot actually on lateral movement, which is really important for the spine. So there'll be a lot of core work and oblique work, and kind of keeping that core activated throughout the class, to be honest. So yeah, hope you enjoy it. And when you're ready, come on down to lying. We're going to start with a little bit of a warm-up for the core. And once we're down, feet are on the mat, and we're just going to put our hands lightly resting on our hip bones here. We're going to start with some pelvic tilts to really try and warm up the core. So as we inhale, we have a nice little arch under our lower back. As we exhale, we're rolling the pelvis towards us. So we're closing the gap between bottom ribs and hips. And now our lower back is completely in contact with the mat. Inhale, roll slightly away. You'll have a little arch under your back. Exhale, roll towards you, closing the gap between hips and lower ribs. So this is just to activate the core muscles. And don't forget as well, those transverse abdominis muscles. So these are the muscles that are either side of our waist, I suppose, but they wrap around the ribs, they wrap the whole way around behind us to the spine. So they're really going to be called on for the majority of today's class, because they will keep everything nice and steady. So sending your intention there for some of the class as well, imagining those transverse abdominis muscles wrapping all of the core together. So they're wrapping around the ribs at the front, around the ribs at the side, and then they're wrapping around at the back, coming to your spine. So they're really important to keep the core steady and centered, which in turn allows the pelvis to stay in alignment. Okay, so when you're in that little arch, so the pelvis is slightly rolled away, we have a little arch under our back. I want you to come back, not until the lower back is flat on the mat, but just find that common ground. So you should have a small little gap under the back, just it's your natural curve in your spine. Imagine if little ants wanted to run under, they would be able to. So that's your kind of starting position or your natural position. From here, bring in both arms up to the ceiling. We're going to inhale. As we exhale, come up into your chest lift, press both arms down either side. Hold here. We're in our 100. Remember, we've covered it a couple of times. And again, we're warming up the core, this whole center, okay? And I want you just to keep an eye on how we're pumping through the arms. So this is quite a vigorous movement and quite unsteady because of the up and down motion. But compare that to your core and your trunk, okay? So that is staying so centered. It's not budging. Your hips aren't moving. So that just gives you an example of how important a strong core is in any day-to-day movement. Obviously we don't go around pumping our arms like this during the day, but it's a very good example of how having a steady core enables us to stay steady in other movements. In for 5 and out for 5. Nearly there. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower down. Lovely. Hold the knees in. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to extend that right leg along on the mat, and we're going to bring the left leg to tabletop. If you can, if you have the flexibility, straighten that top leg out so it's going from hip up to the ceiling. I don't have that flexibility, as you can see, so I'm going to keep a soft bend in the knee. Whichever variation you're doing, we want to make sure this knee is over the hip. Okay, so don't have that left leg lowered. Don't have it pulled in too much. Knee over hip, and then however straight you want the leg is up to you. From here, we are keeping the pelvis stable as we circle that left leg out to the left and back in. So keep an eye on the size of my circles. I'm not lowering the leg too much. I'm not going way out to the side. I'm not really crossing too far over the body. And what we're aiming for here is keeping the hips and the pelvis steady. I know I'm fighting it, but this is your lower core that's doing the work here for you. Brilliant. Next time we're back in center, we're going to do circles in the opposite direction. So we go to the right, circle down, out to the left, and up. If it's too much with that right leg extended, bend the right knee and it'll help a little bit more with stability. We don't want the hips to be rolling. And my hip flexors are starting to give out. Try to keep everything steady. 2 more. Oh, excellent. Let that left leg come nice and long. Oh, that feels nice in that hip. Okay, we're bringing the right to tabletop. Again, extending that leg to the ceiling if we can. If not, keep a soft bend in the knee. Make sure the pelvis is steady. Hip bones are towards the ceiling. I have my hands resting gently on my hips just to try and keep me aware of keeping everything steady there. Off we go. Circle out to the right. Back to centre. Slightly to the left. And up. Just nice and slow. Brilliant. We'll go in the opposite direction. So slightly to the left, down to the right, and up. Check your leg position here. That right leg, make sure when we're coming back to center, it's coming over the hip. If you have tight hip flexors, I'm with you on this. They're burning. We're nearly there. Keep that lower core nice and engaged. One more circle. Oh my goodness. Lower down and let that right leg come long. Well done. Okay, from here, walk the feet in. Bring both legs to tabletop. If you've had your legs extended towards the ceiling, you can bring them back to that position. Glue the knees together. And we're circling both legs to the right, down slightly, to the left, back to the ceiling. Then we go to the left, down slightly, to the right, back to the ceiling. Alternate the direction each time. Now, we're not letting hips lift up off the mat here. So it's a tiny movement, but my goodness, can you feel it in the lower core? And if you're like me, in the hips as well. So this is similar to the corkscrew exercise, which is such a common exercise in Pilates. It's a really difficult one. So many of us have tight hips and tight hamstrings, and ideally you don't want either to get the full range of motion in this. That's why it's often so tricky. One more. Excellent. Hug the knees in. Bring both hands behind your knees, rock back, roll up to sitting, and we're coming to face center. Okay, we get a nice little stretch here for the hip, well, for the right hip, I suppose, first. So we're in our mermaid position. Left shin is towards the top of the mat. Right foot is back beside our bottom. We're keeping nicely grounded here in both sit bones. Okay, bringing the left hand to the mat and just gently lift that right hip up towards the opposite side of the room. You get a lovely opener here in that hip and return your bottom to the mat. We'll go again, sending that right hip across the room. Two more like this. Brilliant. Back in our sit bones. Pelvis staying aligned under the hips when we're in this centered position. Arms are out to a T. We inhale. Exhale, coming down onto that left hand, reaching with the right. Keep that right hip on the mat. Back to center. Down onto the right hand. Back to center, onto the left. Center, last time to the right. Center, bring this left hand onto the mat and reach it out so it's towards the top of the mat. And we're going to have it at a nice diagonal. So you can see here from wrist up to shoulder, across the chest, and all the way to the fingertips of the right hand. So we're in this nice diagonal line. Keeping that right glute and sit bone on the mat if we can. We're going to bring the left elbow to the mat and then press back up. It's like a little half a push up or a press up. Inhale down, exhale up. So we're working on the shoulder and the triceps of that left arm. Our obliques are also working on the right hand side to lower us down and pull us up. And the right hip is getting a lovely opener. Next time you push up, keep coming. It's like a little jump up. Reach that left hand to the ceiling. And back down. Left hand to the mat. Elbow to the mat. Press up. And follow that left hand with your gaze. Adding this extra little jump just asks the obliques to work a little bit harder. Pulling us up while that left hand is off the mat is just a bit more challenging. One more here. Brilliant, bringing that left hand back to the mat. From here, we might need to walk the hand a little bit further out. Left leg stays as it is, just straighten out that right leg. Okay, from here we continue with our press. So elbow to mat and away. That neck is an extension of the spine, okay? So make sure it's moving in the same motion as the spine. Try not to have it arching up or curling down. Keeping it in a nice line with your spine. Two more. Brilliant. Bring that top arm down. We're going to come all the way down to lying on that left arm. Both legs are straight and stacked. So I like to lie kind of on my biceps. My head is kind of on my bicep and my hand is sort of at the top of my head or at my ear. You can have the arm out straight, you can have it tucked behind, whatever is comfortable for you here. Legs are straight and stacked. This is a really challenging position to be in for your balance. You'll feel already that you're falling forwards or falling back. So for this one, that right arm is going to be in front for some extra support, okay? Before we start, I want you to imagine this right hip, this top hip. You're pressing it down away from you, and you'll feel the waist arch slightly off the mat here. So just try that for me. See if you can kind of press the hip. It's as if you're pressing it down towards the feet. And see if you get a little tiny arch under the waist. That's what we want. We don't want the waist melted into the mat. And you'll see why. Because we're going to be lifting both legs up. So we need that waist to have space to go into before it hits the mat, to allow us to lift both legs. And then as you lower both legs, that little space comes back. Okay? So take your time with this. Lifting both legs and lowering. You'll feel it maybe in the left inner thigh. Don't be afraid to stop and reset that top hip. If you feel like you've lost position, don't be afraid to stop and push it back down again. One more like this. Brilliant. We're going to flex the right foot. Left leg can stay as it is. We're just lifting and lowering the right leg, so the top leg, with a flexed foot. Just until you feel the crease on the outside of the hip or the outside of the glute. Next time that top leg is up, hold it up. Now, don't go too high. Come down so it's around hip height or just slightly above. We're going to bring that left foot up to meet it and lower the left. Right stays where it is. We're just lifting and lowering that bottom leg. You should start to feel it, if you haven't already, on the right side of the waist, particularly when you're drawing that left leg up. This is where your transverse abdominis muscles are wrapped the whole way around, and they're really working here. Stay with me, I know this is not an easy one. We just have one more lift and lower. Lower both legs. Tap the outside of the right if we need to for some release. Take your time. Bringing both knees in front. You can stay with your head in this position. I like to be resting in my hand for this one. So whichever head position you prefer, but just check shoulders and hips are in a nice straight line. Knees are in front and they're stacked. We're keeping this nice 90-degree angle behind our knee as we lift that top leg up and return. And again, you're lifting to feel the crease in the outside of the hip and return. Just don't want that top hip rolling back. So keep an eye on your range. We're halfway. Nice and slow and controlled with these ones. So important. We have 3, 2, 1. Okay, I want you to come back up. Tiny pulses, keeping hips and pelvis stable. We're not rocking, it's really tricky. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, lower that top leg. Tap, tap, tap. You can feel that burn. Well done. Excellent. Take your time pushing up to sitting and just change your legs to the other side, if that makes sense. So we have our right shin to the front of the mat this time. Back in our mermaid position. Left foot is back beside our bottom and we're nice and steady on our sit bones here. To start, we're just going to do some regular mermaid. So keeping the chest and gaze forwards. One more each side. Brilliant, you're back in centre. You're going to bring that right hand down to the mat. Walk it out a little bit. Left arm is lovely and long, reaching towards where the ceiling meets the wall. We have our nice diagonal from right hand all the way up to the left. And when you're ready, trying to keep that left hip down as we lower the right elbow and press away. So play around with the range here. Walk the hand a little further out or a little closer to you. So while we're in this position, the left side of the waist, the left obliques are getting such a lovely stretch when we're down here, and then they're pulling us back up. Next time you're down, we can jump up, follow that right hand to the ceiling, and return. We press, jump up, right hand to the ceiling, and return. Well done, lovely stretch. We have 2 more. Last time. Well done. We're bringing that right hand back to the mat. Left arm is still a lovely extension of that. Walk the hand slightly further out and then elongate that left leg long on the mat. Nice straight line from left ankle to knee to hip. And then your right hand should be an extension of that line as well. And off we go with our press. Again, keeping the neck as the extension of your spine. So let it move with your spine. We have 3 more. Last 2. Last one. rest. Okay, when you're ready, let's come down to lying on our right hand side. Legs are long and stacked. Nice straight line from ankles to hips to shoulder. And before we start, hand on that top hip, left hip, and we're pushing it down to give us a nice little arch under our waist. Excellent. From here, feet are glued together. Left hand in front for stability. Lift both legs and lower. This time we'll feel it on the right inner thigh as we lift. Last time here. When your legs are back on the mat, we'll flex the left foot and we're just lifting and lowering that left leg. Check in here. Our hips, are they rolling forwards or are they keeping nice and steady? How is that little gap under our waist? Do we need to push that top hip down again? Next time that left leg is up, bring it back to sort of hip height or just above. And then we're going to bring the right leg up to meet it. Lower the right leg, left leg stays where it is. Just lifting and lowering that bottom leg. Last time, lift, lower, and lower the top leg. Oh my goodness, tap, tap, tap. Whew. Bringing both knees in front, have the knees stacked. Coming up if you want to change your position of your head. It's a straight line from hips to shoulders. Knees in front, 90-degree angle behind the knees. And we're just going to lift and lower that top leg really slowly, controlling it coming down. You should feel that left glute working as we do a slow return. Again, keeping that top hip from rolling back as we lift. You don't want that top hip rolling. It's sitting nicely over the bottom hip. Excellent exercise for the glutes and the hip. Feel how open your hip is getting here. Such a lovely exercise. I know it doesn't feel like it with the burn, but it is a really good one. Next time the leg is up, hold, we have our tiny pulses. 4, 3, 2, 1, lower down. Ooh, tap. Oh my goodness. Brilliant. left hand to the mat, pushing yourselves up, staying on the right hand. Knees can stay where they are. Right hand is back, kind of in line with your hip here. And again, just make sure it's out a nice distance. You don't want it right under your shoulder. That left arm is sitting just on your left hip. When you're ready, we're going to press up, reach that left arm and just hold here for a nice stretch and return. Inhale, exhale, reach and stretch and return. Inhale, two more. And last time. And return. From here, just bring your other hand to the mat, flip over to all fours, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Really slowly here. We're drawing left knee out to the side of left elbow, back to all fours. Right knee out to the side of the right elbow, back to all fours. Stay going here. Again, focusing on the obliques and the waist. Nice and strong through the shoulders. One more each side. Brilliant. Okay. Knees wide, feet together. Sit back into our child's pose for a few seconds. Walk the hands into where you're sitting and flip over. So we're on our left side, on our left hand, and our knees are stacked in front of us. And right arm is resting gently on the right hip. And we're going to repeat our nice stretch. So we inhale, exhale, pressing up, reaching with that top arm, and return. We have 3 more. Last time. And lower down. Excellent work. Okay, from here coming to center, sitting in whatever way is comfortable. We're going to finish our class, finish our challenge with our lovely slow shoulder rolls. Inhale, slide the shoulders towards the ears. Exhale, slide the shoulder blades down. We have 3 more. Great work, everyone. Well done on completing the challenge. Thank you so much for joining me for this challenge. I really am so grateful to have people to practice with, even if it is virtually. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a fantastic Christmas, or if you're doing this during the Christmas time off, I hope you're enjoying your time and you're getting a nice balance of rest and lovely food and a little bit of Pilates or movement. So have a fantastic Christmas. Best wishes for the new year. I'm sure I'll see you on the website or on Instagram, or maybe in studio. If you're in Mullingar, I'd love to see you coming to Evolution Pilates in Mullingar from the 6th of January. If you're interested in trying some reformer classes, I'll be taking the level ones, so beginners and mixed level. So if you want any more information on that, just send me an email or a message on Instagram, or check Evolution Pilates website, the timetable is there. And yeah, so I will see you all back on the mat or the machine very soon.